In this video, in the Hickory Golf Handbook, I'm going to be talking about bags. So, by all means, you can use a modern bag. And in fact, when I do my rental events, I often have people who will take the clubs out of the bags I provide and put them into their modern golf bag on their modern golf trolley. And that is absolutely fine. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. However, if you are somebody who wants to carry a set of clubs in, let's say, a more traditional manner, what should you look for in a bag? Well, actually, it's got to be strong enough to do its job correctly. Now, that sounds pretty obvious, but believe you me, through bitter experience, I have bought and sold a lot of golf clubs and a lot of golf bags over the last 25 years. And I've picked up, let's say, an antique bag, and I've got a couple here. Now, this one is actually just full of some clubs, as it happens. Now, this is has a main carcass, let's say, of canvas. And then it's got leather, typically a leather base, leather lining around the pocket, a leather ring around the top, etc., and leather handle here. Now, you will find the vast majority, and let's say, I would even say 95, 97% of antique golf bags are not going to be strong enough for regular use. Many years ago, I went up to St Andrews and I took my clubs on the train in a very nice looking antique bag that I'd not used beforehand. Yet I'd satisfied myself that it was all really nice and strong. I got halfway round the new course and the strap split. And what happens with the vast majority of bags is the leather, which is tanned leather, and it's tanned using tannic acid. That's how leather is produced. The acid, over many decades, will rot the leather to the point where it becomes, actually, you can tear it with your bare hands. Now, I know that bit there, if I chose to, I could probably tear that completely in half. So when you're weighing up a bag for use, you've got to look at the straps. That's the most important thing. You've got to look at where the top of the strap attaches, and you've got to look here where the bottom of the strap attaches. And again, if you've not bought the bag, I would do this very carefully if it doesn't belong to you legally at that point. But if you have bought a bag and you really want to see if it's good for use, at some point you're really going to have to load and twist and put some pressure on that leather to see if it's good enough. But don't be surprised if it's not good enough. Now, there's other things you can do, which I'll come on to in a minute. So anyway, you've got your option of an old canvas and leather bag, or I've got one here, which is an all leather bag. Again, authentic. Now, I use the term authentic to mean genuine, genuinely old. So this is an authentic bag that is probably maybe 80 to 100 years old. And the great thing about this bag is the strap actually is attached there with canvas, very thick canvas. That is not going to break. But what could possibly be its weak point is the leather here. Now I have given this a really good tug and a twist, and this one is good. And similarly, here, where the strap attaches at the bottom, actually what I have done to this bag is I've actually repaired and I've sewn in a new piece of leather there because it had broken. Okay, so if you've got or considering buying an old leather bag, the strap has got to be looked at. Similarly, you will find that the stitching, let's say here around the pockets or around the handles, the stitching can rot, and it's not too uncommon where you will pick up an old bag, you will pull this carry handle here, and this whole section will come away, literally off. Now, yeah, not going to be good for use, clearly. You would have to take that to a leather worker or somebody experienced to say, well, could it be restitched back on? Sometimes they can. I know there are people who actually buy old bags and literally take them apart and remake them. And I mean, yeah, absolutely fantastic work. But whilst there are good original authentic bags still out there, it's just a case of being a bit patient and waiting for the right one to come up. What you also find, I should say, on a lot of old bags is they will have wear around the bottom here. It's not unusual to find small holes. Whether it's something you can live with or you can actually effect your own little repair, or again, get somebody experienced in leatherworking to repair it, that's another option. So that's 2 authentic bags. However, what I actually do also recommend that you consider, at least, is a modern made replica bag. This is an all leather one. It's got an opening diameter of about 6 inches. It's got a metal ring. These can be obtained now quite easily on various websites for not too much money at all. And certainly they cost a less than an old authentic leather bag. And they do the job more than adequately. Another option is a modern canvas bag. This one has a rain hood. That's something I've not spoken about before. So that flips up, so keeps your clubs all nice and dry, either on the course when it's raining or when you're not using them. And this one actually has sheepskin lining, so it's quite swish. Great for wooden shafted clubs, something like that. I'll just show that more to the camera. Okay, so again, with a little shopping around, there's a make called Tourbon. I think that's a Tourbon, Tourbon. They're great. So hopefully that tells you some options for bags. Now, the other thing, which I haven't got to hand, is you could consider using a club carrier. Now, I'm just going to give you 2 phrases that you can look up. There's the Osmond's automaton or the Bussy automaton, and they are essentially bags, or they look a bit like bags, but with automatic wooden legs that come out, and they date from the 1890s, early 1900s. They're quite rare and quite valuable, but I know actually of some Hickory golfers who have obtained these things, have had them reworked. In fact, I put a new leg on one for a chap once, and he uses that regularly, and that's quite special. The other thing to say is bag stands. Now, personally, I don't use one all the time, but what I'm talking about here is effectively 2 pieces of wood that are about, let's say, just a bit longer than your mashy clubs, with a hinge in the middle. And what will happen is you carry this thing, it can fold up, and you can slot it in your bag when you're walking along the fairway. And as soon as you get to the ball, you can pop it out, and it effectively opens out into an X shape. Let me just try and demonstrate this with 2 irons just so that it's absolutely clear what I mean. So there will be 2 pieces of wood joined with a hinge in the middle there. It will open out into an X. You put the 2 bits on the floor and you just simply rest your bag on the upper bit there, and by gravity alone and friction it will happily stand there. And if you look on my website, you may see pictures of this, or if you look at other Hickory golf websites, you'll see people using these bag stands. I have made a lot in my time for people, and if you're after one, then you can just drop me a line, info@timewarpgolf.com, or put some comments below. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please consider subscribing or liking this video. It is really important to promote this video so others can learn from this. Thanks very much. Bye.